ahead, Evan.
One,
Oh,
three, two, one.
Nice.
Yo, 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 what up, man? Welcome to Mezzo Forte. That's right, Blog Talk with the super fans. We are chilling up with the crew. Who do we have today's edition? We got the guy who's walked the walk now. He talks the talk. It is Coach Tosco. We have the Red Raider professional hater. It is Adrian. We have our own terrible towel aficionado. It is Eduardo. And as always, special producer Crack AV, host Danny BMD, and me, of course, the amateur hype man, Superfan Art. We talk sports, talk Texas style. Take it away, Dan.
Yo. Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz. Coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas to your radio. Providing some sports time for your free time. What up? This your host, Danny BMD. How's everyone doing? And how did your team do this week? Oh, man. So today it's going to be a special edition, really, of Mezzo Forte Sportz that we're going to talk, where it's going to be a very kind of hot topic going on right now. A lot of opinions. It's going to have a lot of really range of topics to kind of expand from that. And of course, we're talking about UEFA versus Superliga. Oh, man.
Going European there, Danny.
Oh, man. It's a competition. Is it good? Is it bad? We'll talk about it right now. Let's go ahead and go around the table real quick. It's Coach Tosco. How you doing, bro?
good, man. I'm glad to be here with you guys. Getting ready for this, for what could have been a very controversial situation, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Nice. In the core, we got our Liverpool super fan, Eddie. What up, bro?
Ish, you might want to keep that on the deal right now. Our owners having some hot water, we just try to start a coup and break away to a new league led by our owners. So I'm doing all right. Like Bosco said, kind of digesting what's been happening with UEFA and the Super League. So it'll be, fun to discuss.
Nice. And of course, the ever-loving Mr. Leon himself. How's it going, dude? Is PSG just gonna take the whole thing or what? Just gonna take it like without even playing or what? What's going on with that?
Yeah.
So talk to me.
I like the enthusiasm already.
No, I don't know. I don't know what you meant by that. What do you mean? PSG take?
Boy, you think that they're not, the teams are still gonna get remember how we talked last time? Teams are gonna just get eliminated. They're just gonna end up giving PSG the cup.
Oh, you mean it's okay? Nah, I think it's a wrap. I think the Super League is dead. But yeah, we'll get into that in a bit, like Bosco said. Nice.
All right, guys. So of course we got super fan Art and Mr. Crack AV. Of course, I gotta love you guys. Ever loving super fans, of course. So we'll just get right into it, man. In this case, the European Super League. Eddie, what is the European Super League? Why is it against UEFA? Or why is it against the clubs? What does that mean?
I mean, it's not a thing anymore, I think. But who knows? It could be. There's still rumors that it might still happen. So basically, top 12, and I want to say most recognizable or bigger brands in Europe, which are your top 6 in the Premier League, Atletico de Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juve, Inter, AC Milan, all breaking away to create a new league, which is, from what Florentino said on his interviews, their original plan is to run alongside and at the same time as domestic league and the other cups, which is an alternative. So basically, it's them setting up a new league that's above or better than the Champions League, because it's like the best of the best. And those 12 founding teams have a guaranteed spot every single year. And then they'll have, a carousel of guests coming in and year out. So basically that's what it is. They mentioned that those guest teams could be determined as far as like the winners of Champions League, Europa, and other competitions. Which, I mean, it really just sounds like they're self-proclaimed the best, and now you guys got to compete it out to battle us for like the Super League. In a nutshell, that's what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure Tosco can give a little more details to her about his perspective on this.
Well,
Yeah, let's go.
the
Talk to
thing is,
talk to
though,
me.
is that was one of the things that was not communicated at the beginning.
Mhm.
See, everybody was like, "Oh, they're starting a new Super League. We're taking the best of the best or the most recognizable, right? And we're making our own league, right? We're leaving, but they didn't give the details to where it was going to be like a bigger, a better Champions League. You know, we're going to run alongside these. We're going to take, you know, whoever wins from there and then go into like a super tournament. You know, if they would have sold it as this is a new super tournament, then it would have been maybe a little bit different. Maybe it would have been perceived differently. But when all this started happening, and all of a sudden they just released the headline saying, "Oh, well, 12 teams are coming. They're already in." You know, it's like, wait, whoa, what happened? Like you just blindsided everybody. You know, how is this going to happen?
Mhm.
And they gave no details. They gave, you know, or they gave little details. And it wasn't until the chairman, right, or the one in charge, what was his name? Eddie Fiorentino.
So, yeah, I guess let me break it down a little more for the
Yeah.
listeners that don't really understand the setup. So, this move by these teams that I mentioned is led as president of the Super League is Florentino.
Yeah.
President Florentino, who is the president of Real Madrid. So, so in other words, a president of a team is going to be the president of the league, and then it's going to have vice chairman, and it's going to be the owner of Liverpool, one of the owners of Manchester United, and owner of Arsenal.
Is it
So
gonna
all
be?
three.
Is that gonna be like a commissioner type of thing, or is it just gonna be like
So
we self govern ourselves?
so think about it. We self-govern ourselves. There's president is going to be like the main dude, and then
Yeah.
3 vice chairman, which I mentioned who they are. Which, by the way, they're all Americans, and all this league is backed by J.P. Morgan. So they're putting on how much was it? Tosco, about $4 billion to start this
Wow.
league.
Wow. That's a
And-
lot. That's a lot of money,
Mhm.
especially
And-
during COVID times. I mean, bro.
and
Well, I mean, you got to remember, J.P. Morgan Chase owns, you know, a huge stake in almost anything. Businesses, bank, they are a bank.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was
mean,
gonna say yeah.
the thing is that yeah, they have deep pockets, and the thing is one that first off doesn't set a good precedent in the sense of, well, the chairman and president of a team is the leader of a new league, which he put his team in. You know, say what you want, you know, and Real Madrid could be a really good team, but the first year they win it all, you know what's going to be said, right?
Exactly.
And so
Yeah, exactly.
that's already off. If he wanted to start off a new league, he could have easily just said, okay, I'm going to get my buddies, the people that want to go in business with me, we're going to put up the money, and we're going to choose a chairman. Under our discretion, under our criteria, we're going to choose a chairman of this new league instead of self-appointing himself. That's first one. And then the vice chairs of the whole league is going to be all the owners of the team, that of all the teams that are in it. That again, that doesn't sit well.
But my question
Okay.
is, what ended this? Like, what made owners say, no, thanks?
Well,
The
that's
pressure.
where. Well, that's exactly, because it goes back to, okay, if it were sold differently, the backlash that they faced may have not been the same. Right now, you have people on the streets rioting over there. There's people, all the fans of these teams are burning jerseys. They're rioting. They're protesting. They're getting rid of all their team gear. Like, it's a big deal over there in Europe right now, in England and all these different places. And the thing is I don't think that when they released these details, these headlines, they expected a reaction like this.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure they expected, like, oh, you know, they thought, oh, we're getting a new, more prestigious tournament, you know, a more select tournament where it's only the top of, the cream of the crop, right? But you think about it, that's already UEFA Champions League, right? You let all the winners, you let all the teams of the top leagues, of all the leagues in Europe in, and the best of the best wins, right? And every year we see it. Look at the past winners: Bayern, Real Madrid, Juventus, Barcelona. Well, Juventus earlier in the 2000s, but Barcelona, Liverpool. You see the Chelsea, Manchester United. It's the same teams over and over for the last 20, 30 years. Yeah, once in a while you get a Dortmund one in the 90s, get a Porto one in the 90s, early 2000s, right? You get one of those that'll come out of nowhere and do it. PSV did it in the 90s, But for the most part, Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan won in 2010 with Mourinho. Like, it's the same teams over and over. So I don't understand where the idea of a new Super League spoke yesterday in his interview, where he said, "Oh, we're trying to correct the corruption that goes on in UEFA." Is it corrupt? Most likely, but by creating another league which could end up being corrupt also, or have seen corrupt, right? Then what was the point of that? You could have attacked this in a different way, and it would have been a different reaction by the fans.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interject. As of now, I think all 6 of the English teams are already planning to exit. So that just leaves 6 left?
Yep, pretty much. And we'll get to your question later, because that's a really good point, and it kind of ties in with what Art just mentioned. So there's reported 6 teams. I know Man City for sure already announced.
Yeah.
They're starting their legal paperwork. Owner of Chelsea said, hey, we're considering this to leave. John Henry, which is the Liverpool owner, which is one of the ones that's spearheading this operation, he said, no, we're still looking into this. Same thing with Florentino. So there's a lot of media out there, but just like Tosco said, all the information came out at once. It wasn't clear what were the details. All everybody heard was, we got these 12 teams that are going to be pretty much the chairman of the league. They're going to be, all of them receive $400 million as a starting bonus. And all 12 of these teams have a guaranteed spot in this prestigious league. So combined with the Tosco mentioned about the outrage with how it came out and how it's kind of like, oh, we're just going out and doing this. You also have to consider the fact that the money aspect, So, okay, cool. So these guys are breaking away. They're taking the best teams.
Yeah.
They're going to make more money. They're going to keep more money. And also they're keeping all the spots. All that combined is all the outlash that it created, because it's no longer a merit competition. Like Martin said, Champions League has always been best of the best, because it's the Champions League. You have to win your league, or at least in England, be top 4, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it's supposed to be. So having their format, the added bonus of all the money and a guaranteed spot, I mean, it just gave it from the get-go, it was like a horrible image. If maybe they presented it different, like Tosco said, with, hey, we're going to be doing a running average of the last 5 years. Whoever in Europe has the best win percentage is invited. There's no guaranteed spots. I think that people wouldn't have been pissed off about it. They would have been like, okay, cool. It's a merit-based competition.
Yeah.
If they would have used something like that, like win percentage, it would have been great, because that still would have gotten you top teams, because they're the ones that win the most. So, if you would have come up with something like that, like, oh, we're going off of the win percentage of the last 5 years, maybe you'll get like a team like Leicester jump in there, right? Or you'll get like a, Serie A or Dortmund, that'll pop. Or and even in France, maybe like a Monaco,
PSG,
would have
Monaco,
jumped in there.
Maybe.
Yeah, instead of some of the other teams that are in from the other leagues, right? But you still have the top of the top, right? And those other teams would have been invited anyways, right? At some point. So I think that when all this was released, it was actually, I think, great marketing or great promotion of it, because it was like from one minute to the next, it was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. There's a new league. All these teams are leaving. You're like, whoa, what happened? You're getting it from all different outlets. So it was like, wow, this was like a media blitz. But it didn't say what Eddie just said earlier, where now he came out, Florentino came out and said, you know,
Yeah.
it's going to be a league that runs alongside the domestic league, that runs with the Champions League and takes the winners of those and puts them in a league. That wasn't said at the beginning. At first, we all thought these teams are leaving their respective leagues and going into a new league. That's what we all thought at the beginning. And that's what I thought. That's what the majority of people thought. Where, Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City, they're all leaving the EPL. And they're going to have to get 6 other new teams. And it's like, whoa, that's huge. That's huge. And then you're taking away Barcelona, Atletico, and Real from La Liga. Like, whoa, you got nothing left there.
Right.
So real quick, well, before you go real quick, Eddie, I just want to interject. So what, if you could narrow it down to 1, maybe 2 actual reasons as to why they did this, what do you think that would be, Eddie, as you answer your question?
Yeah, and Adrian, I'm not forgetting, because I still want to go back to your question and tell you why the owners, and we'll get there, because this is a really long conversation, and ultimately that's how this ends, and what your question, how it happened. So 2 things, and I'm basing myself off and playing a little bit of a devil's advocate after watching the 2-hour interview with Florentino last night that he had in Spain. He presented it, and they're not hiding behind the fact of, like, we're not doing this for money. Because that's one of my biggest things. It was like, you know what? It's bullshit. They're greedy and they're doing it for money.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be enough for them to be like, oh, messed up. But no, like, they straight up are being honest about it. It's about money. So I'm gonna use his points to say one of the main reasons, the money, but not as far as how you think about it as like, hey, we're getting 400 million. It's a bailout. You have to see this as a bailout, and that's how they're explaining it. It's a bailout for these teams. Over the last 10 years, think about the inflation of the transfer market. Ridiculous pricing, starting from Raheem Sterling for 100+ million, Neymar's. All of that inflation of the transfer market. It started raising the expenses and the salaries and everything that the team had to put up. So Florentino's selling this as a bailout, because he explains Real Madrid should have made 900 million this year. Usually we operate with a 700 million euro budget a year. And we were projected to do 900 million this year. But unfortunately with COVID, we've only been able to get 600 million. So a lot of these teams are negative. Some of them are
that's crazy.
Like Barcelona. Some of them are skimming and starting to flow that way. Because Barcelona, you think about all the busts they've always thrown money at. So that's
the deals, bro. The deals, like the TV deals, all the deals that are going on. I mean, COVID really, really killed them. Like it got pretty bad.
And I mean, he touched on TV deals. He touched on how now more than ever, because of COVID, and it's actually opposite of what I think what you mentioned, because of COVID, TV deals have gotten more lucrative. That's where the money comes from, because they're
making money off the TV deals.
You eliminate stadium sales, merch sales, all that people used to go out and do. Now he's saying that the TV sales is where they're getting a lot of the money. So one of the bigger issues is basically that with the contracts and the TV deals with UEFA and Champions League, they get a payout for the TV deal, and it all trickles down, which is what Florentino focused on yesterday. There's no transparency as far as how much that president makes a year.
Exactly.
There's no transparency how the money's broken down. So to them, it's like, F this, we're creating our league and we're getting the TV deal, and this is where the money's staying. We're not spending it on all your other, whatever you want to call.
Miscellaneous fees or whatever.
Yeah. So the thing is that that's where his big thing is UEFA's corrupt. The corruption with UEFA. They're corrupt. Sure, they may be. And he sees it in dollars and cents, because what he says is, if UEFA makes $100 million in TV deals, $100 million, and then it trickles down to the teams, and the teams only get 10 million, where's the rest of the money? It's supposed to be more for the teams there at the end, right? If you win, because Real Madrid has won it, You
They're
know,
the
more than
product.
probably, yeah, they're the product. They're the ones that have won it the most in these last 10 years. You know, and they're only getting 10 mil. And it's like, hey, the winner should get the majority of that, right? You know, UEFA is just, yes, UEFA is the governing body. Yes, UEFA sets things up. UEFA makes the deals. But without Real Madrid,
I don't think
people
it's
are
the
not gonna
winners.
watch.
That's what I think. I think you nailed it though on that one without Real
Yeah.
Madrid. It's not about them winning or losing. They could fucking
No,
lose and go in last place. But
Exactly. No, keep on going.
they're like, we bring the views, so we deserve
Exactly.
the
Mhm.
market share of whatever views we bring, not depending on how we do performance wise throughout the year. And
So
so
that's why the
Yeah.
12 teams they picked are not necessarily the best teams. It's the most marketable teams.
Marketable
The team-
teams, nice, yeah.
Yes, that's what they are. It's
The
teams that bring in
brands.
eyes. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. TV deals are exactly what they're looking for because, again, they don't need to go to Fox, to NBC, to ESPN. They don't need to go to the big markets.
Mhm.
They can go to True TV. They can go to Spike,
Dude,
you know,
even
whatever it's called now.
even better.
they can make their own network.
Even now, Florentino and them came out and said they were already talking with Amazon and Hulu
Yeah,
to
there
get
you go.
them. So like it's even
On
better.
a
Wow.
streaming service, and they have the story right now.
Wow.
Well, now that it's not
Honestly,
happening, I kind of want it to happen.
I was like, I kind of want to get that now.
So,
And see, but the
Damn
thing
it,
is
it's
this
marketing.
now. The thing is this now. Okay, 6 teams already left. Goes to Adrian's question, and I'm gonna let Eddie answer most
I
of
still
it.
need my second point of the reason why they did this.
Oh, okay, well, go.
Yeah.
And this one's gonna be short, and ultimately,
But I like
it's-
that bailout answer. It's like
It's
a good answer
smart.
because,
Like
because like
I can't hate on that. Sorry. go
well,
ahead,
but the thing
finish.
is, like, I wonder how it worked. Like at the on the contract level, like, are they giving away a part of the team for?
Exactly. They did this. They set the market. There's no cap. So
Yeah.
if they think, see, and this is gonna sound weird, but Messi and Cristiano messed up the market. Why? Because Messi and Cristiano, they're worth the 100 million, 200, 300, whatever
Sure,
they're getting,
whatever.
right? Yes. But what they think is, oh, that kid right there, that's the next Cristiano. That kid right there is the next Messi. And what do? They sign
Same
them when they're
price.
16, 17, 18, and they give them 100 so that they can come to their team, $100 million when they haven't even done anything, or they've done things in the lower leagues, you know, the lower levels. And it's like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
You're messing it up for everybody else
Yeah.
because you may spend $100 and this kid may be the next Messi, right? But you're setting the bar for every other young kid that has talent that's Messi-esque, and there's not on that many Messis. There's
You're
only
right.
one,
You're right.
and so now the market is set high on something that's not even plausible.
Right. Like since there's no cap, it's like I guess it was like a gentleman's agreement. Like, hey, don't screw the market up too much. You know what I mean? Like,
In a
let's
way.
yeah,
In a
like everyone's like kind of following the same rules. Like, okay, Cristiano went for 200 million, you know, and then Messi maybe he's gonna go for I don't know 400 million. You know, Neymar went for like $1 billion. Like, and then
Well,
it's like
you're right.
I
So
think
it's
I think
like-
a lot of that has to do also as well the fact that there's league. I mean, we're talking about different countries, you know, with different tax codes and different financial
economies.
implications, economies, and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, for
or
sure.
like that's a reason. I think that's one of the reasons someone explained to me, like, yeah, bro, like imagine trying to work out a cap in well pounds or whatever, right? Because they try to Brexit, and you know, compared to you know China or something like that, or like or you know where it's just like
Well,
different
they use-
economies and stuff
go
like
off
that.
the price of Bitcoin, dude. There you go.
But
Look, Danny, Cristiano Ronaldo, whatever his contract is right now, let's say it's $500 million, right? 500 mil, right?
Yeah.
A day, I think.
Right. Sure. $500 million, right? He's playing right now in Italy, right? And if next year Cristiano Ronaldo says, I don't want to play here anymore and I want to leave, and China calls and says, hey, we'll give you the same contract over here.
Hey, we'll give you this city where no one lives in. It's yours.
Exactly. 500 million is still going to be 500 million in China, in Portugal, in Italy, in the United States, Germany.
As long as he can leave the country, right? Because that's what they do.
Well, sure, but they're not national, so it doesn't matter. It's not their country. So it works the same way in the NFL, right? Because in the NFL, you want to go to a team that has no state tax, right?
Oh
You
yeah,
wanna go to
I guess
Texas,
so.
You want to go to Florida, you want to go. It's the same thing, right? So you can say, hey, I play for I play for the Cowboys, but I live in California, so I'm gonna make sure I get my no state tax in Texas so that I can go back to California and not have to pay a state tax. Like, nah, that shit don't work like that, right?
Yeah.
So in the United States, because there's laws like that, those other countries don't have these kinds of laws over there.
Well, I don't
So
know.
Cristiano Ronaldo said,
They might.
no,
They
don't.
might.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, it's already happened.
NML
What you're
papers.
saying, it already happened in Spain.
I was gonna say in
Cristiano's already
Spain. Yeah, I was gonna.
Barcelona.
I was gonna say
but
Spain.
Spain has some of these laws.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And
it's
Messi,
happened with Cristiano, with Messi and Neymar. All three of them gone to court already.
Yeah,
Have
I
any of
remember
them
that.
given the-
I think
have
Suarez
any of
too.
them given their money back?
Suarez too, but
Oh.
Suarez also open for another thing. But yeah,
Have any of them given their money back?
No.
Have any of
No.
them gone to jail?
no.
Nope.
then it
I'm
doesn't
sure.
matter.
I'm sure they paid a whole bunch of money. Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
like,
but nowhere near
matter.
the amount that they
But
saved.
but it's
yeah.
only like 3 of them though. Like,
No, it was.
Well, those are
it's-
three of the highest paid people.
Well, no, but I mean, those
It's the
papers
whole
had a lot of
team.
people. Yeah.
Barcelona as a team was already outed that as a team and organization, they've been like tax evading. And I mean, and speaking of, it reminds me of Texas and California. You mentioned Monaco. Why big players like staying in Monaco because over there, like, there's pretty much no taxes.
yeah.
It's their own sovereign country.
See, that's
Yeah,
what-
but it's $50 million to live there.
Well, but that's why they go play there and don't live there. They just get an apartment, try and get back half of their
Well,
contract
dude,
back.
I mean, not to go sidetrack, but there's an interesting article if you ever want to read it, where it's about people who travel to Monaco, like they commute from France and travel and go to Monaco. Dude, they come back with like 20,000-30,000 euros a night, and then just go back to France. Like, it's
Yeah,
insane.
like people that work there, like I'm
Oh,
sure.
Right?
like-
Yeah,
That's
They
awesome.
bank.
Imagine working
That
as
is
a waiter
awesome.
or a bartender. Yeah, like imagine your tips, like that'd be awesome.
Wow.
But
Dang.
getting back to this, the money doesn't matter where, in what country, in what laws, what tax states, what tax codes. That's not how that works, right? Over there, because the countries, for whatever reason, they don't have those laws, right? And so now,
Military
if the
industrial
team
complex.
has the money to pay them, they'll go, right? They'll go to whatever team will give them money. Think
Yeah.
about it. Pizarro not doing 10 years when he's old as fuck, right? But if some team will offer him 500 million euros, he'll go play in Iraq.
Yeah,
He'll go play in
yeah.
India.
Ah.
Because,
Oh, it
because
depends.
they're going to give him the money.
Well, towards the
Right?
end, you kind of want to chill, but I get your point. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, sure. But what's the competition going to be like in those countries?
Yeah.
And to still get 500 mil,
Yeah.
I'm down.
so no, absolutely. And I mean, I don't know about Cristiano and Messi. I feel they have too much honor in their how their history is written. I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but definitely the Hulks and all those other like
Yeah. Exactly.
still elite, but they're like, F it, like I'm gonna just make money for me and my family.
Yeah.
Digressing from that, and just real quick,
I was like, I
Yeah.
want to hear the second point.
yeah, second point. And no, and we already talked about, like I said, how Florentino's selling this. So we already know a little bit of the background of how it was presented, or at least how it was perceived by the media and how it was blasted. And Florentino's like, hey, this is for the money, where it's a bailout, basically. My second point and my second reason of why they did this, and it still culminates with money, but they're honest about it, and you guys touched on it, the market share. So to them, they're saying we're going to save football. We're going to save it because essentially by creating this league, creating this new stream of income, we're going to be able to sell ourselves. And without us, the Champions Leagues, the domestic leagues are not going to survive, because he's saying that in the several years, because he said the new format's going to change in 2024 in Champions League, and that's going to be making more money for teams. He said that the Real Madrids, the Liverpools, the Manchesters, and Barcelonas, all the teams in the Super League will not make it to 2024 if things continue to trend the way it's trending. Because this year, they're 100 million short. Next year, they're 200 million short, 300 million short. So that's his excuse. And again, I'm saying, I already see Tosco is like hating this, but that's his excuse. And this is my point. Like I said, I'm going to play a little bit of the devil's advocate. It was because if the market, they don't care about the leagues, they care about their pockets, right?
Yeah,
so they're getting more money that would have gone to UEFA, so that's in their pockets. And two, if the business and market dries up because they're losing money, it's like, no, I'm going to continue to feed the ecosystem. I want to run this Super League that's going to create more money, but at the same time, it's going to give other opportunities to these smaller teams. And this is what Florentino infers and says. And I know Tosco kind of agrees with this. You're going to get your Evertons in the Champions League, your West Hams, your Leeds, all the smaller teams that never really had the opportunity.
Yeah, the domestic leagues changes, if you will, and the leaderboard, especially.
Because these 12 teams will not participate in Champions League.
Correct.
Super League. So this opens up 12 spots for teams that usually don't make it, maybe. So they're going to have more money from their Champions League payout to invest into the team.
Yeah.
So this is how he's selling it. And this is the point that I'm going to say. That's the second point. In reality, it's all at the end of the day because of their money and their pockets. But it could have been motivated to this. It makes it more competitive and it creates more money for them in a way. That's really it. I mean, I think it's really 1 point for me. It's just the money, but still.
But see, the thing is, like, this is the thing about these. There's no plan to this. They were just like, oh, $400 billion. Okay, I'm in. Like, I don't give a. And yeah, well, they'll keep you honest and say, yeah, it's about the money. It's like a bailout, all this shit or whatever. Yeah. But like, what does that mean? It's going to succeed. Like, you haven't lined up any fucking sponsorships. You haven't lined up any partnerships. You haven't lined up any.
They'll make them, bro.
But Adrian, that's the easy part.
But the whole time they'll be bleeding, though. Is what I mean. Is that like?
Sure. No, they got 400 million each.
400 million coming in. Look, right? Because
last year the champion. Sorry, Tosco. Last year the champion. The prize the champion for the Champions League made 100 million.
Right. No, I understand.
These dudes are all getting 4 times as that just to set this up.
But what I'm like, what are the fees and stuff? Like, like
there's no fee. First off,
it was just like bucket league.
It's okay. Again,
wait. I want to interject something real quick. Shout out to one of our viewers out there, Edgar. Thanks for your lovely comments, brother. One of his comments is Tosco knows what's up. Tosco, tell him what's up.
Those doesn't know shit, by the way.
I don't feel like letting everybody know what's up. See, the thing is that so the money's there, Adrian, because they got JP Morgan Chase to give them the money. Mm-hmm. So there's an investor right there. So they're investing the money, right, to them to start the league, right? So they're going to start the league. They have income. The sponsors, the TV deals are going to come in. Mm-hmm. They don't need the same sponsors that they have now. They can get rid of all of them. They'll get a bunch of new ones. There's no problem with that.
Right, but like
airlines, there will be clothing stores, there will be fucking gas people that will put their logos on those jerseys.
But what about like stadium? Like naming the stadium? Like what stadium?
Don't need a stadium.
What?
That's another thing.
That's already there.
The stadium.
They don't name stadiums.
They don't need the stadium. All you need is a field.
Right. That's fine. But like the stadium has like a bunch of shit like everywhere around there, right? Like all those
new sponsors. There's pictures in there.
Right, I mean, but that takes time, though, dude.
Like you're talking like about a lot of things that need to happen.
Yeah.
And the whole time they're not playing, they're bleeding, like legit.
They have investors.
No,
they have investors.
Okay.
And the investors that don't get on board, which they didn't. So, like, you know what I mean?
So, just to talk about the sponsors, and just because I had a brief glimpse at how that works. So, when I was talking to the front office with Austin FC, they started telling me if I knew people that would be interested to be sponsors. And they offered different. This is obviously Austin FC versus Real Madrid, right? It's different.
Yeah.
It would be easier for them to get sponsors, one. But with Austin FC, it was like, hey, we've got, a certain packages. What do you want to do? You want to be on the sideline, your sponsorship? Do you just want it to be in our newsletter? Do you want it to be on the side of the stadium? And depending on that, they get people. They told me this 8 months before the season started, that they were barely starting that They barely had announced Yeti. So it took them 8 months before the season started to get all their sponsors lined up, their naming rights in the stadium. Teams like Real Madrid, Manchester United, Liverpool, they'll probably be done with that in a week or two because people with money are lined up.
But it doesn't matter. There's still a lot
But
of
there,
legalese
but
that
you
have to
still,
happen.
but you still
Yeah,
need,
AJ.
you still need a
It's not
crew.
gonna be like they're not
You
gonna be like, oh yeah, bet me over and fuck me.
No,
No, no, no, no. Well, I'm just saying, like, you still need to build the stadiums, though. You physically
No,
need
you
to build the
don't.
You need
stadiums.
to
don't.
build the stadium.
Do y'all
Okay,
know who owns
okay,
the stadiums?
hold on.
Right.
Yeah, who
But
owns?
look, look,
Okay,
look.
okay,
But
that's
you're
my
also talking
question.
about okay, all the people. Let's say this happened, right? We got Madrid. Okay, we're all the fans now. Now you have to go get new ones because a lot of them are
They're-
pissed off because you fucking ruined the team.
Okay, hold on. But before you get to fans, we're not in the fans yet.
Yeah.
We're still on sponsors, and we're
Right.
talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you.
Sponsor stadiums, fans.
Okay, so sponsors, stadiums, and then fans. Sponsors, okay? And he said 8 months. They can already start sending emails right now to everybody who's not a sponsor, to La Liga or to the EPL, right? So they can go and get, or they can even still go and leave the EPL as sponsors and go with them. Who's to say they won't, right? Money talks. The people that are investing money in this league are billionaires. They're giving their money to them to make this league work. Money talks. If they need a stadium built, they will get, and this is going to sound horrible, but they will get 60,000 people from Qatar, pay them $10 a day, and go build a stadium in a week. I
Wow.
guarantee you.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what.
Yeah, but
what
that's
these
in their
people
own
are.
country, not in Europe.
Well, that's the thing.
They
They're
can do
not.
it in Europe. Now, the sponsors, that's not hard. They don't need to get the same sponsors. They can go get new sponsors.
I
And even
understand.
if it's crappy material, they can get new sponsors. They can put them everywhere. That's not a problem. Money talks, right? Second thing, stadiums. Okay. Let's
Well,
say, for
no, I still
example-
feel like the sponsors, you make it seem like, oh, it's they'll just go and be like, yeah, here, put my name on the stadium. They're gonna be like, no, here's the legal contract, 3 years bullshit. They're gonna send it to them.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back say,
Yeah.
oh, well, no, we want this 2 years and all whatever. It's not gonna be. It doesn't
Well,
matter if it's Austin FC or
No, no, no.
So-
Well, this
so-
is
so-
supposed to start in
Wi-Fi.
November. This is supposed to start in November. So how many months do we have? Six
we
or
have
seven.
about
No.
5 months. 5 months. So 5 months, Adrian. So this
So,
is gonna
so
happen.
okay, and what about the stadiums? Who owns the stadiums?
Hold
No
on,
one.
we're not
hold
in
on.
the stadium
Okay.
yet. Wait. So 5 months. Okay. So what Real Madrid, what this Super League is gonna do? These are the owners. These are the presidents. These are the CEOs of these teams. They already know how to handle deals with sponsors, right? Because they're the ones that get the sponsors,
Sure.
right? So let's say, for example, Manchester United has Chevy, right? Is it still Chevy? I'm not sure, right? I think it is still
Yeah.
Chevy.
It's still Chevy.
Right? So it's GM, right? General Motors, GMC, Chevy. That's who they have as a sponsor. Cool. So the president, or the ex-president of Manchester United, right, would make a deal and say, okay, we're going to give you a 3-year deal. We're going to give you 10. We're going to pay, we're going to give you money, $10 million. You're going to let us use your logo, right? And then after, right, because this is a sponsor deal. So it's like we pay you, but then you got to pay us, right? Right. So the thing is they're going to use the same contract, but instead of going to Chevy, they're going to go to Fiat. They're going to go to Hyundai. They're going to go to whoever's not being used. They're going to go to Ford, right? And they're going to offer them the same deal. And if they say, well, no, we're not, they can throw in a kicker and say, okay, instead of 10 million, make it 20. Why? Because we got money to blow, right?
Mhm.
So the deals in those contracts, it's not like they don't know how to make these deals or contracts. They've been doing them already. These people know how to do them. You're
All
just
these
adding
guys
those
are
few-
precedents for 20 years, 10
Yes,
years.
it's not like you
They've
got
been doing this.
bums off the street to do this.
Okay. All right.
get
let's,
that, I
Let's
get
leave it at
that.
that.
Okay,
leave it-
fine.
Okay.
No,
No.
dude,
Well,
agree
I
to
wanna know
disagree.
where his, well, no, it's because I don't understand where his hesitation is.
Well, it's more of like a train. It's more of like a chain thing, right? Where it's like, okay, you lose some sponsors, or maybe you try to gain some new ones, but and then
Mhm.
and then it goes down to the stadium, like which you're just gonna go to. But I'm just, and when you get to the stadium part, it's the sponsor. It starts like kind of toppling down, and now you're at the stadium where now you have FIFA who says, hey, you have a stadium. Or whatever, even I don't even know what the owners want to do with that stadium. Like, they're gonna say you can't play here, right? Like you have to
Okay.
go somewhere else,
No.
So
right.
I'm just gonna
or
go
even
and-
then
and-
FIFA can say,
No, I'll take
fine.
over stadium. I'll take over stadium. For a
Well,
second.
let me just, I'm just gonna give you one example. So, for example, let's say Laredo had a team, right? And they
Yes.
played, and it's a FIFA sponsored team, right?
Yes.
Right? If FIFA, over governs it, right? They play at the SAC, right? Okay. So that is a FIFA stadium where Laredo Heat play, right? So
Sure.
if Laredo Heat wants to leave and create their own league, right? FIFA's gonna say, hey, you cannot play in SAC. That is our stadium, right? So what is Laredo Heat gonna do? Is there no other soccer fields in Laredo?
Well,
That
yeah.
can fit
Okay.
30,000 people to watch their games.
Hold on. First, let's get the foundation.
Yes,
Is
there
there
is.
another
There
soccer
is.
stadium?
Yes, there
Give me
is.
one, Danny.
Yes.
Sure.
That was
United
it.
High School.
Yeah.
Friggin-
What is it?
Throw-
Raw.
throw
Was
some
it?
dirt on the ground.
Was
Tell
it?
me you.
Kruger Field.
Kruger Field. There we go.
Kruger Field. Okay. So let's say Kruger Field, right? It's obviously it is nowhere near the SAC, right? It is not big enough, doesn't hold anything.
No, yeah.
But again, you're
Like-
coming in
Chop my
with
middle.
people with money.
Right. Whatever.
So what are you gonna do? Is they're gonna build those stands, they're gonna upgrade it,
Mm.
and they're gonna take that land and make it the new Laredo Heat Stadium. They don't need SAC that was built state of the art. They can get one that already exists and make it state of the art because they have money. Money will buy everything.
All right. So
If I may
That's-
interject real quick, our buddy Edgar says Real Madrid, I'm assuming they actually played a quarterfinal in their own practice field. Is this
Yep,
true or
and-
false?
And that's because Real Madrid is upgrading and updating their stadium. They're building. They're in the middle of construction, so they have to play Liverpool in the quarterfinal in the training ground, which was shit, and that's why we lost. But I'm not salty. So no, and I'm gonna agree with Adrian. And this is, I think, gonna give you kind of like the reason why what you think, Adrian, could happen. All these sponsors, if UEFA and FIFA start saying, if you go over there, we're going to end all our contracts and partnerships. That's where the business of the Coca-Colas and the Fiats and everybody will start thinking twice. Do I want to sponsor Real Madrid, Barcelona, and all these teams, or the rest of the world? That could be the only part where I could see where sponsors start running away from Super League. But there's plenty of people that are not part of those ecosystems right now. So to that, now to the stadiums, who owns Anfield? Fenway Sports Group, which are the owners. Who owns the Old Trafford or whatever they named it now? Because I think they sold the naming rights. Manchester United. So a lot of these teams don't have city or state or a different ownership. Like Austin FC, their stadium is owned by the city of Austin. Puebla, theirs are owned by the municipal whatever of Puebla. But these teams have their own stadiums. So really, the hardest thing or the biggest challenge they can face are local and country ordinances and laws.
Yes.
They could make their life hell.
There are.
They really are putting the pressure, which is kind of why a lot of people are second guessing the bans from domestic leagues, from international cups, all the banning of players, all of these like local lawmakers and whatnot are putting pressure on the teams. But do you really think the city of Liverpool will make it a living hell for them to play in their stadium if they're going to lose that tourism? Dude, the owners are from the United States. They could be like, you know what? Have this. We're taking this team over to this country.
And they could.
But they're not going to want, Liverpool will not want to lose that money that comes in from
But
tourism.
Liverpool also would not want to allow, or the country of England, I should say, would not want to allow Liverpool to operate outside of England. Like you're talking about Liverpool's regional saying, shit, I don't want my money to leave me. But England's like, dude, the money's leaving anyway. Like it's gone, bro. Like we're not even getting any of it for the FA. So it's like, okay, well now we have to apply pressure on the stadium by, hey, you guys broke our contract. Whatever contract we had, like maybe some tax agreements or something like where you didn't have to pay for, how much yearly of maintenance or I don't know, whatever they have, right? Like, but so they can just take these costs away, and that's what happened. And I think that's a big part of it is that they were like, shit, well, we had no plan for that. We just said, let's do it, fuck it. And everyone's like, yeah, we'll just throw money at it until it works.
Yep.
And then they started hitting the speed bumps instantly, and they're like, shit. I mean, we're gonna be negative more.
I think the speed bumps, yes, they're speed bumps, but the speed bumps are not necessarily big yet. Can they get big? Yes, but are they big yet? No, they're little speed bumps. But the fact that there's so many of them, that's where they're starting to double think things. Now,
like construction permits, like expanding the stadium, like is that all going to happen now? You know what I mean?
Just like you said, you're absolutely right. Just like you said, well, England can make, and the municipalities and the cities and the towns and the states, the countries, they can make a living hell for that team. Like Eddie said, Liverpool doesn't need to be in Liverpool. Liverpool can go be in Poland. Liverpool can go be in Austria.
But will Liverpool lead Liverpool now?
Yeah, I mean,
if the fans don't want it, then what's the point?
Like, are the players going to be okay with moving to these countries now?
Yeah.
Are they going to be
are they going to? That's another different story, right? The players might not be in there.
Well, these are the speed bumps that they're going into. And they're like, shit, this is like a horrible idea. We didn't plan this out at all.
But the thing is that...
Is it like the Fire Festival? Is it like the Fire Festival?
Almost, yeah. Like, I have enough money. I'm going to keep throwing at it until it works. But,
But the thing is, they ran out of money.
Well, I mean,
it's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, no, they're not going to run out of money. That's the thing. So the thing is this. Yeah, you're right. The players can leave, right? But they didn't think about it, and they jumped and they dove in without thinking of any of these little things you're bringing up, Adrian. All these good points. Your points are awesome. But they already dove off. They're already in the water, right? Mm-hmm. So they have to think on their feet now. Well, with swimming not underwater, because they already jumped in. So can they lose players? Of course they can. The players can say, I'm not gonna go. Fuck it, I'm out. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but Liverpool, the team, the name, they already jumped in, bro. They're going. Mm-hmm. Firmino, Salah, Shaqiri, Kyle. Oh, you don't want to come? All right, later. Let's go.
For real.
You're right. And is it gonna be worse for them? Sure.
Damn.
Right? But at the same time, they can go to West Ham and go get their best player.
But now
they can go to Leicester. Why? Because they can throw more money at them.
Right. But they're losing money, by the way. Like, it's not free now.
I mean,
what?
It went from a $400 million. Oh, I got $400 million. So now, I'm paying almost $1 billion just to do this.
But again, you're bringing up all these points that could happen.
Right.
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 So we don't know if players want to leave. Right.
No. Right. No. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to.
And what if the team says, "Hey guys, look, we're gonna end up moving from Liverpool, and we're gonna end up going to fucking Austria, right? I know it's a little bit inconvenient, it's a little lackluster.
You pick a good city, I like it.
Right. Well,
good country.
But hey, as a bonus, we'll throw in $5 million per, just as a moving fee, right? They have the money to do that. That's the point.
But that's the point, Adrian, and Florentino was really open about this, and obviously, how truthful is it? But they're saying they're bleeding money as is right now. So they are. Continue bleeding, and maybe we disappear, or just take this bailout and try to make it happen. He said we didn't really think further than just locking in the teams. Like this first year is going to be a trial. It's like next year the format might change, and the next year it might change. It's like to them, it's like, hey, we're experienced owners, and we want to take this bailout and see if it works. They're betting for COVID to go away, and for like all the people start diving into the stadiums.
So that's crazy, because what you just said sounds to me like that's how desperate they are.
Yes,
like that they would do this without even planning for like they planned as far as the teams. That's it. So it already speaks to me. But see, that's the worst part, is that they pick the worst teams. But see, that's what I was going to right now. I was going to say this is going to happen again for sure.
It happened 50 years ago.
Well, I'm saying
that
it's going to happen now, where the team's going to start cutting back on its expenses, saving up maybe to ramp up for this new Super League.
What they should have done. If these are good businessmen, they should have done this before they gave a $200 million contract to Hazard, who didn't deserve $200 million. They shouldn't have given Griezmann $500 million contract when they didn't have to. So if they were real businessmen, they would have done. And then after, still pay hundreds of millions of dollars to players that are hurt on the bench, don't play. Right? Think about it. Think about it. You get these players, right? You bet the manager's the one that manages. And what happens with Mourinho? I don't like Pogba. Pogba's not gonna play. Motherfucker, Pogba, we're paying him $200 million. He's gonna play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit if you don't like him, right? But then, so how is that gonna work? And then you're losing games? No. Yeah,
Also,
that if they were good businessmen, they would have figured this out years ago and stopped giving money to all these young wonderkins that are not that good.
You know who's figured it out? All the Moneyball teams.
Oh my god. So then is this not gonna work then?
So to answer and finally Adrian's question, why are owners leaving? Right. So we talked about the speed bumps. So what are these speed bumps? FIFA, UEFA already came out and said players that are involved with these teams or this league, you're not going to participate in anything else. You guys are going to be banned. You can't represent your countries.
Damn.
And you're talking about, and I have it over here pulled up. You're talking about 21 national players from England, 20 national players from Spain, 15 national players from Italy, 15 national players from France, 15 from Brazil, 9 from Portugal. You know, and the list goes on. Like all the, I want to say
How many Americans? 1?
3.
2.
3.
Oh.
3?
No, 5.
5. Oh,
You made it. Yeah, Mexico has 1. So there you go.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dos a
Yeah.
cero, bro.
Time to win.
Perez, McKennie,
Time to win the Gold Cup, baby.
Pulisic, and
I love you, Eddie. I love you forever.
All right, we got Pulisic, Stefan, McKinney, Dest, and De La Fuente.
De La Fuente.
Chelsea, Man City, Juventus, Barça.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, Barca.
They're all young. Most of them are young kids.
yeah, but
yeah.
they're still yeah. I mean,
They're still,
Dest
and,
plays.
dude, and just think about
He
it. Like,
plays.
Barcelona, De La Fuente, 19 years of age, games played with the national team 1. His value right now is 2.75. But then 1 year older with 3 more games, 27.5 million.
What the
Or
fuck?
25 more million for someone that's still has an experience. But it's
Yeah,
like, hey,
exactly.
this could be the next Ronaldo, like Tosco said. Throw 25 mil at him. So all these kids,
But see, that's a bad strategy these teams are doing.
I mean,
Like,
it's
But that's what happens when you have no cap.
They're hoping for the most marketable player so he can blow the fuck up and then like lift their team for 10 years, 20 years or whatever, like Cristiano and Messi's.
so
No
real
cap.
So
no draft.
real quick, guys. Let me just pose a question then. You know, they've always seen soccer. You know, association football is the gentleman's sport. It just has been. You know, starting in England, it's just one of those things, right? And it feels like with this, there was a lot of things like we were talking about ownership. Like I didn't know the who owned the stadiums, and stuff like that. Where we're talking like referees. Like who's gonna ref? Are the rules gonna be the same? Are they gonna change them a little bit? Why would they?
The
Why
rules
would they
won't
not?
change.
You
so
know,
Florentino said they're not going to change the game. They're going to implement VAR, but they're going to make sure it's regulated better, and that they're going to get the referees that want to come and play here. We all will get paid, and you'll come
Well,
here and play.
here's an
Simple as
interesting
that.
question.
He said
now.
that yesterday. So
yeah.
I don't know if it's possible, but it's just a very interesting theory. I wonder if FIFA could subjugate that league to to lawsuits for taking its rules, you know?
I mean,
Like-
sure, but
like, I
if
don't
you
know-
copy the handbook, maybe. But I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
they can
universal
just-
sport.
Because that's why I
You
kind
can
of
throw.
uh-huh.
Well, I was gonna say you can just throw a technicality and say, well, if you touch, it's a handball if you go 3/4 of the way up in FIFA, but in the Superliga, it's a handball if you go 5/8 of the arm up, and that's changing the rule.
But
You know,
isn't
it's-
that right? But isn't that what they do in Canadian Football League? Pretty much like the kind of same concept where they
Well, they didn't-
change.
Well, they didn't do that. They didn't change it because of that. Because the NFL said, hey, if you take our rules, no, that's not the reason why they did that. Because the NFL doesn't own college. So why aren't they suing the college?
Because they're in cahoots.
Yeah, well, sure, whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to say.
I didn't say it, but the point is, though, is that maybe the rules, they could swim for the rules, but those rules can easily be amended by changing a few words.
Yeah,
The game's going to be played the same way.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
And then to go back again to answer Adrian's question.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking about the bans. So players, teams, coaches get banned. So that's one roadblock, right? Florentino spoke about, hey, we're going to be like still in our domestic leagues. We don't plan on leaving that. But the FAs, their pockets are going to hurt. So you know what? F this. You guys want to ditch us? Like, you're going to get kicked out. You're going to get this. So now the owners are like, well, we didn't think, and I think Man City and the Chelsea guy basically said, we weren't aware that these were going to be the situations. We were told it was going to be an easy peasy move, like, boom, like you're still, business as normal in the league, but don't worry about the Champions League anymore. We're not going to compete in that one. We're going to compete in this one. And it's like, that's what they thought. But now it's like, oh, wait, we're getting banned. We can't do this. We can't do that. You're going to kick us out. You're going to strip us from our championships. Like, I don't know about this anymore.
Okay.
And that's what they didn't say. That was a thing from the beginning. Everybody thought it was something different because they didn't give any details. Florentino waited 2 days too late to say something. He should have done it. He should have had a press conference and revealed it and said it himself and said, this is the new league. This is how it's going to work. Da, 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 da.
So,
instead of them going to champions, they're going to go here. They're going to play their domestic.
But they're desperate.
Yes, 100%. They're desperate.
And why didn't they plan it out if they're desperate? If this is a cash grab, if this is a ploy, then it should have been well thought out.
Yeah,
because he says it was 2 years in the making, but I don't know about that.
No, like what happened was this happens to a lot of companies, and they, they got hit by COVID, and they're like, and their business is shit. It's fucking floated by just who knows what the fuck. And now they actually got hit by disruption. They're like, shit, what the fuck do we do? I don't know. I've just been on my ass for 20 years. I haven't done shit. My money's just been going up.
And that's what I'm saying. Like in soccer, again, it's a very gentleman sport. We have fair play. Everyone knows what fair play is. Van Persie showed like a perfect example of it. It's just Van Persie during the World Cup. Now, in this case, like this situation more than anything is showing what type of gentleman's game it was to begin with. So the team owns the actual, the brand owns the actual stadium, the team, and everything like that, and they're all working together. Essentially, you have these top teams that are truly bringing in the revenue for the rest of the league, right? And then it was more of a like, hey, dude, we're, it's a gentleman's sport, it's soccer, we're all, everything, England,
It's
everything.
football.
It's football, right? We're on this together, but I feel like did this just kind of feel kind of it was a money grab, and kind of what Adrian was talking, where like, dude, like we don't know what we're doing, we kind of need to do something, and you mentioned like we're, they're bleeding, so is everyone else, man. I mean, it's all relative, and I mean, do you think, I understand, that they're bleeding, but they have money. Like, these smaller teams don't. And so it's like, kind of like, I understand that you're bleeding, bro, and you guys want to do your thing. And I think it would work perfectly. Just, I don't think, like how, I don't think it was not thought off and like that, but I don't think it was very considerate. Because they even said it was going to be a midweek thing. Like, oh, badass, you see, during the weekends, do your thing. You'll pinch a midweek. We're going to do this instead of champions or whatever. Like you said, and I thought it was going to be like that too. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is not, it's not that bad or whatever, right? It's just, champions. It's the tradition. But again, we go back to the whole tradition thing. Like, I think soccer more than any other sport, it has football, association football has this there's a very rich tradition of it. Like, dude, it's an honor to play for your country type of thing. What kind of, rather than like, hey man, do you want to play, for the Olympics or whatever? Like, nah, I'm good,
Well, see, the thing is, I don't agree with the honor of it all and the tradition.
It's more of it's a merit. It's a merit. I think it's a merit thing.
But that gentleman's thing, no, don't get me wrong. That's held true for many years.
Yeah, and then now, but now we're showing where like, it's like, all right, guys, let's draw lines.
But
You know,
it's a business at the end of the
but
day.
those lines were not. Those lines were drawn a long time ago.
Well, I understand that. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna chill and just like kind of. I mean, I'm sure they've had their, but the thing is, like, I mean, they've been in the business for, like you said, in business, right, for hundreds of years. And is they created this game and they made the rules and all the stuff like that. But now, I feel like more than ever, it's kind of like, dude, like the person that has money, you go to the bar and this person's buying shots and shots and shots, and then like they just leave, and you're kind of like, oh shit, like I guess we all have to buy our own thing. I don't think that's kind of.
I mean, people have. I think people lost sight at the fact that at the end of the day, these organizations are businesses.
Yeah.
They're gonna look after themselves. I mean, yeah, we love our fans and this, and they sell you the dream of like the honor and the merit, and we love each other and we are one. But at the end of the day, hey, our pockets are getting thin. We're gonna do whatever that's for our teams.
Mhm.
And what happened with these 12 businessmen? Hey, JP Morgan, you're offering $4 billion for this? Let's do it.
They just saw. They heard.
I'll give you a quick
Ears perked up
example.
and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course. And I'll give you a quick example of this, and it's going to be relative to, like you said, Danny.
NBA D League.
I wish that'll be a good topic to get there, right? But think about it like this, Eddie. What's the song for Liverpool?
Never
Never
walk alone.
alone.
Why?
Because they never walk alone.
Because they're always like part of each other, and you're always like unity, and it's all the working class, and we're together through everything.
Because they were that kind of
everything.
team. Through everything. They were that kind of team. Those were the fans that were for that team. So when all the trials and tribulations from that team that has been there for a long time, when the plane crashed and the team, no, not the team, the fans.
The fans
that they died.
Yeah.
Right.
just
And so
Dang, I remember that.
all of that, they have every year. They remember those fans. They remember the day. They
it was last Wednesday, for fuck's sake.
was
Like
last-
Yeah, it was.
Sunday.
The
and
Hillsborough disaster.
Yes,
Yeah.
accurate. No, and you're right, Tosco.
So
Manchester
and the
United
thing is,
workers. Liverpool created by workers. Real Madrid created by workers.
sure, awesome. But now, you adapt or you die. Who
That's what
bought the
Florentino
team?
said.
Who bought the team?
Americans. No, that's what Florentino said yesterday.
Americans.
You adapt
Yeah,
or
And
you
do
die.
Americans know about the tradition and the honor and the gentleman's game?
They know
No.
business.
But that's
It's
why
a
they're probably
business.
scared right now. I was gonna say that is that the owners, they probably saw this and they're like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, dude. Like if I
Yeah,
can't
because
even
it's-
make my business happen,
The
then fuck this.
reaction, the backlash, they weren't expecting it to be like this.
The cultural
right?
backlash. Boom,
well-
chakalaka. Super fans win.
They're
all
like,
the
we're
time.
used to fucking the Jaguars over and the fucking
Exactly.
Raiders. What
How
the
does
fuck? What do you
business work
mean?
here? What happened when the housing bubble busted? Right? The weaker ones faded away and died. The ones that could have been saved, what did they do? They got taken over by somebody else. Right?
Mhm.
That's how JP Morgan Chase lived. JP Morgan Chase should have died in 2008. Right? But regardless, point is, these teams, I agree with Eddie, and Florentino said it. In 3 years, some of these teams are not going to be good anymore. Some of these teams may not be what they think they are.
But they
might
don't
not
care
be
about that,
Liverpool, They
right?
might not be Real Madrid. What?
They
Like
don't.
the fans don't care about that though.
I mean, I feel it's like I mean, you're wearing
Sure,
their
but
their
it's a
hat. You're,
business, but
It's a lose-lose to
but
them.
it doesn't matter.
yeah, I agree. I
the
agree.
fans can. Oh, the fans won't let it happen. Well, fans, instead of paying 50 euros a ticket, now you need to pay 500 euros a ticket. So
Yep.
you can't not let it happen, right?
Mhm.
Oh, well, what do you mean? This is my team. I'm a middle class worker. I can't afford 500 euros. Then bye Liverpool.
I can't travel to Milan and to
Exactly.
Well,
Madrid
see,
on
but see,
Wednesdays.
that's the difference
But-
between an American culture and a European culture, right? Because like in NFL, for instance, they're like Oakland, like, oh, this team has been here since the 70s. Like it's a great team. It's been part of our city. And then they're like Laters going to Vegas, like just like that.
I
Just
mean,
like
dude,
that, like,
dude,
straight
I'm not,
up,
I'm
like-
not, dude. I'm gonna give a perfect example. That Tosco's wearing a hat. The Cowboys. When's the last time they won their Super Bowl?
95.
What is
96,
the
96.
value of their brand in the world. So Jerry Jones at the end, he doesn't give a
What, like
shit about
$3 billion
championships,
something
right?
like that?
I mean, based on
I mean,
actions,
I'm sure he does.
I'm based
I
on
don't think
actions.
He wants. I don't think he does the way
I
he
don't
fucking
think that's
drafts.
I don't think he does. He
well-
wants to. I mean, in this case, it's about money, right? I mean, they're like the most
Well,
richest brand in the
yeah,
world.
but-
Oh wow, yeah, so
If he
awesome.
cared, we
You
would be
can't
getting
even
the
win. You
best
can't even win your
coaches.
division championship. Like, dude.
No,
But-
I know I agree to some degree there, but I don't think it's the right example.
I don't think.
Because
Well, yeah, I mean,
because
but
Jerry Jones, it's not sure they haven't won a Super Bowl forever, but marketing and play on the field is not the same thing. We had a team that could have won a Super Bowl 5-6 years ago. It
True.
was put together by Jerry Jones. We
Also
had
true.
the best of the best. We had the most Pro Bowlers and all pros that year for 2
Yeah.
years.
And I always
So
tell
we
people,
were the
Tosco,
best team in the NFL
how
but
many
we couldn't
years?
make it.
How many years?
like 5-6 years ago.
Once?
and I always
What do you
tell.
mean?
Just once? Like
What,
they.
No, it was for like a 3-4 year span.
Yeah, it was like a 3-4 year dynasty.
I
Dude.
mean, I don't
Hombre.
understand what you're.
Like, okay, Eddie, shut the fuck
Danny,
up.
okay,
dude.
hold on, Danny.
Hold on, there goes
Danny,
Tosco.
I
Oh,
want
yeah.
you- and I want Danny to answer this. So tell me, Danny, what other teams have had times where they've been good enough to win Super Bowls? Name me those teams.
I mean, just like off the top of my head, like Patriots, Steelers.
Okay, that's one.
Steelers.
Steelers? Okay.
Packers.
They've really been good only 1 year, 2 years. The same as the Cowboys. They haven't had teams to win Super Bowls.
I mean,
old school Buffalo Bills.
The old school Buffalo, and how good were for how many years? Art?
4.
4. And
Yeah.
then where have the Bills been in 20 years?
nowhere.
They
Nowhere.
made it for 4 Super Bowls in a row, Danny.
But I'm
and They
not.
haven't been relevant.
But I'm
They
not.
haven't been relevant for 30 years.
But my point wasn't necessarily like the fact that like
brand,
whether you
the brand.
won. Yeah, I'm talking about specifically the brand. Like what
But
what
the brand
seems.
doesn't matter because of marketing. That shows you how good Jerry Jones is at marketing,
At business.
at promotion, at business.
Which
He
is-
bought this team when it was worth. He bought it for like
$1 million, maybe,
like
something
$100 million. In
Less than that,
89.
dude. Less than
And
that.
and that's
Yes,
fine,
yeah.
but like it's specifically like what
Well,
I'm
no,
talking about.
That's the point because the soccer teams that are managed, that are owned, they're the reason why they're in the hole
So-
they're in.
so-
Liverpool and Real Madrid are in the hole they're in because their presidents, the leaders, don't make right decisions. The fans are there. The fans are buying jerseys.
Look.
The fans are selling out stadiums. But their leadership is making mistakes with players, with contracts, with whatever it is. Obviously, it's not working because they're in a hole and they're dying.
All right, so question for you, Tosco. What do you define success for a team? Championships or money? Or
And what's your
specifically
weakness?
profit?
Are you looking at this as a fan or are you looking at this
As
as
a-
a businessman?
So like, I mean, I'm just saying your specific definition.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. No, I'm a fan. So I want them to win championships, right? But
Yeah.
like how you want to point out that, oh, they've only been good 3 years. Yeah, I've seen them be shitty for 30 years.
Mhm.
But at the same time, they're the most valuable team in the NFL. So are they the most successful? Yeah. So either way,
So to
I
you,
mean-
successful is money? Would you think?
I just said
Well,
it's wins.
I
It's
got an
championships
interesting
What's up,
because
Eddie?
I'm a fan.
We're
I'm
deviating.
a fan.
Yeah.
So for all
I
those
gotta-
Liverpool fans, they want to like imagine Eddie. Perfect. Eddie, 2 years
What's
ago.
up? Hey, Eddie.
How
So,
were you? How
2
was
years
it
ago-
when you won the Champions League? How was it when you won the league?
So look, let me start over here in 2002.
Oh,
Formula-
here we go.
FT,
Oh
FT,
my
FT, FT,
God.
FT.
Exactly.
You're 5 years early. 2002, Formula 51 is released. Samuel L. Jackson, badass movie if you haven't seen it. That's how I became a fan. Started playing in FIFA. And then 05, win Champions League. Awesome. We have a great team. Hey, are we going to win
Yes.
the league? I hear it's been 20 years. 10 years go by. Still, hey, it's 30 years. Finally win Champions League. Then we win the league. And it's amazing. Mind you, 10 years prior or 8 years prior, Americans, FSG, Boston Red Sox, buy the team for about 300 million euros. So now they've
That's
taken
it?
through this.
Oh
That's it.
dang!
And they are valued right now at 1.3 billion US dollars.
That's all Liverpool cost?
That's what Liverpool cost because we were trash in the
Dude, this
early
soccer
2000s.
shit's a wrap, bro. The Super League's happening. I don't even give a fuck. Like,
So now,
there's no fucking way, dude. Holy shit, Liverpool.
It's all about
Exactly.
the money.
So now, exactly. And then you're, like I said in the beginning, owner of Arsenal, or president, owner of Arsenal, owner, president of Liverpool, Man United. All three of them are extreme businessmen in the United States that have multiple teams, multiple businesses.
Yeah, Stan Kroenke.
They want
and-
to make
Yeah,
an
Dan
NFL
Kroenke.
in Europe. They want to charge a fuck ton for tickets, and you're gonna get a $20 euro hot dog or tapa. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna pay
You don't
a
like
shit-
falafel?
like how you're here. Like if you go here to a sporting event, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Over there, it's not like that. Over there, we
Yeah.
bought our tickets for 50 euros. We bought a pie for 2 euros and a beer for 3 euros. That is going to
That's
be
changing.
10, 15, 20. Like
Mhm.
it's not going to be the same. So ultimately, as a business, they're doing the right move.
Yes,
While
of
did they
course.
did it right? Did they market it right? Maybe not. But as a
We
business,
don't like it as fans because it's our team selling out.
Yep.
Our teams are selling out. Our teams are betraying us. They're leaving us. But today,
Well, Liverpool's gone.
It's a
They were
win.
gone. They were gone 2010. They were fucking out.
But I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like specifically, I understand the
Holy
whole business.
shit.
I understand the whole business point of view. And I completely agree. I mean, like, you know, this, like for
What-
me being
Danny.
a Spurs fan, but hold on. But it's
I'm so fucking
sports,
mind blown.
bro. What is the point at the end of the season? Who wins the most money?
Yes,
Yeah.
them.
No.
for the business,
Yeah.
Who
Yes.
holds
No
the
change.
championship up, right?
It doesn't matter, Danny, because these
Look
companies
at-
they will come in, they will
Cor-
snap. Dude,
and
I'm
that's
already,
and that's
oh
fine.
my god.
And that's
So,
fine.
okay,
Like as a
so-
business,
so Danny,
right?
So Danny, let me just tell you this.
Right?
You as a San
tripping
Antonio
out.
Spurs fan, I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan too. We're a smart market team,
Yeah.
and we got lucky. We got lucky because we were good for many years, for decades, right?
Yeah.
and
Managed it right.
reason
Did
why
the
we
whole
were good,
thing.
We were good,
From front
not because
office.
we spent money. No, not because we spent money. The Spurs, you can go back 30 years, have probably spent the least amount of money in the NBA.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
They drafted David Robinson. They drafted Tim Duncan. They drafted Tony Parker. They drafted Manu Ginobili, right? And then they didn't have to go and sign superstars to win championship because they drafted them, right? So you go get a Bruce Bowen, you go get a Robert Ory, you go get a whatever, little Steve Kerr, little pieces to help fill out the team that are cheap and old, right? And you win championships, right? So yes, at the end of the year, as fans, we're great, right? We love it because we're champions, right? But as a business, they're feeling great too, because not only did we win, we're gonna get money, right? And we didn't spend shit,
Mhm.
and we're mega profitable.
Look.
Now, the Spurs lost all those players. The players they have suck. They're gonna not spend money because they don't have money. So, Danny, be ready for the next 10 years, 6, 5, 10 years of the Spurs being mediocre to bad. Unless they decide to spend their money, which they won't, because if it backfires, then their business goes under because they don't generate enough money.
And then look,
that's
hold on
what
there.
I'm. Well, yeah, go for it.
Look, and I just want to kind of put a little facts behind what Tosco just mentioned and talked about right now. Going back to Liverpool in my example, right? Because that's pretty much the most of who I know, right? Early 2000s, we said we were trash. We were doing mediocre. We asked for the owners to sell, get out of here. FSG comes in, puts in money, start making some moves. Our team is not the strongest. We can't sign anyone good because we're not good. They're going to the Manchester, they're going to Chelsea, they're going to Real Madrid. We can't get players. And I can swear to you because I lived the transfer hell. But then, we got Raheem Sterling. We got him at 17 in our academy. He's coming up. He's good. Oh, Man City, you want to put up 110 million for him? Sold. Here's 110. Let me use 30 for Andy Carroll. Stupid. Transfer record
God damn it.
for Liverpool. 30 million. 30, not 100 and some for Liverpool. 30. And it's like,
Lovren?
that's a flop. Lovren, yeah, we get 10. hey, we got Coutinho for 10. We got, this other person for 15. But no. Look, you're putting the thumbs down, Tosco, but in all those scraps, if you will, I guess.
Wait,
right?
Lovren went to Liverpool?
Lovren was there
for years.
forever.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
there's a love-hating relationship for me. But
Beyond Farm League.
and then so
He's your superstar.
we're doing a little better, and we're actually now lingering in Europa. We haven't been in Champions League for years, and you know what? Klopp comes in. Klopp actually starts getting a good mentality. He's a good coach. He's starting to work with what he got, not necessarily all the talent that.
Is that the Dortmund coach?
Real Madrid, yes. And we start winning. We qualify for champions. We got some bonus. We got some money. Cool. Now we have money. We start attracting a little bit of players that want to play Champions League. You know what? Next year, Barcelona comes in. I'll give you 150 for Coutinho. He's our best player. F it. Give me 150 million from him. I'm gonna pay 80 for Allison. I'm gonna pay 70 for Virgil van Dijk. I'm gonna pay 30 for Naby Keita. And then it's like, cool. We let go of a midfielder, but now we have a star defender. We get a star, goalkeeper, and a toss up with Keita. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's the next Sadio Mane. Maybe he's not. He hasn't been. But still,
Yeah.
by little, then you win the Champions League. We get more money, spend that money. So it is all interrelated as far as winning championships, yes, but because it also helps the business. It makes it easier to sign people. It makes your team more marketable. You have more sponsors. Our sponsors in the early 2000s was Warrior, which was an umbrella company from New Balance. Not even New Balance. We couldn't get sponsored by them. We had Warrior. So you see it now we're with Nike. Now we're getting that big Nike money, the big Nike checks.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, championships are success for the fans as far as silverware, but for the business, it just means more money.
Now how about for the sport? Or are you like guys like straight up think like, oh no, dude, sports is
I'm a doomer, bro.
Sports
It's
is
over.
it's all business. It doesn't matter. There's no
yeah.
honor. There's no discipline.
Exactly.
Is that if that's what you think? Like I mean,
I agree.
I mean, I've lost faith then in sports. Then like, why do we?
Danny.
Why do we do this?
Exactly.
So naive.
No, whoa, and no, don't get me wrong. Like I
He's
realize
not naive. He understands.
I understand perfectly how the business works. Like
But
I
he wants a
understand.
mixture,
I
right?
understand the industry how it works, but I still feel that there is actual athletes out there who are like, dude, I love this sport. Like, yeah, I understand this feeds my family, but I love this sport. Like, you have your MJs that are crying, dude. Like, in the middle of the Last Dance documentary, like, no one understands, man. No one understands. Like, for the love of the.
Don't pay them. Don't pay them and see how well they play.
Okay, and that's fine. And even then, if you didn't pay them, you would still see some of the best players still playing, correct?
But you're talking about the best. Yes. Don't talk to me about MJ. Don't talk to me about Kobe. Don't talk to me about Messi.
Yeah, and they're the best.
Those are not the rules.
I mean, they're the outliners. Yeah,
they're the outliers.
I mean, and I understand that, but like just that mentality,
talk to me about Steve Kerr and Robert Horry, who they have
Scottie Pippen
championship. Scottie Pippen's a Hall of Fame.
No, but he didn't get paid.
Well, yeah, he didn't get paid. Scottie Pippen never got paid. You saw it in The Last Dance. They didn't get paid. He had to be in the league for 12 years before he got a contract over it that was worth his
with the
value.
Blazers.
He was really old with the Blazers. So you're telling me that's not great? He went to the Blazers that were good, but he knew he wasn't going to win a championship with old ass Clyde Drexler and some fun teammates.
Or MJ to the Wizards.
Yeah. Oh, why didn't MJ for the love of the game? Yeah. You don't know. He came out of retirement, went to the Wizards for God knows how much money, right? So yeah, we're talking. If you want to talk about those guys, the love of the game, the passion, cool, yes, but those are not the rules. Those are the exception. You brought it up. You said the guys that feed their family. Yeah, they know that they gotta do 100 jump shots every day and make sure they make up as many as they can, because when it comes in the game, they don't do it. What are they gonna do? They get cut. Why? Because there's a bunch of other ones that love the game so much that they can go and sign for less money. So don't come here thinking that. And one great example of that, Danny, and hopefully we get into it in this podcast, baseball. You want mentality gone, baseball is a perfect sport for you. There is every year, there's 10 teams right now. The Liga just started. There's 10 teams that we know are no good and are garbage. They know they are
Orioles.
garbage. No, not the Royals. The Royals are okay, but
Blue
they
Jays.
know
Oh, Blue
they
Jays.
are-
I don't know if they're good anymore. You know.
No, they're good. But they are teams
Oh, the
that
Braves.
know they're
My bad.
garbage. They put in the teams. They pick the players. And they pick the old guys, the one nobody wants, the guys that can't hit a certain way. They're okay. They're not. And that's the team they put out there. Imagine being a fan for that. Imagine being a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates every year consistently get rid of their best player to get money and not to reinvest it in the team. They get that money and they keep it in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they bring up, because everybody has a farm system. Everybody has the minor league, right, where they bring up the players. They've had Starling Marte, Andrew McCutchen. We're talking about Andrew McCutchen was the MVP for a year with the Pittsburgh Pirates. What did they do after that year?
Transferred
Halfway,
his ass.
they traded his ass and they got as much money as they could, as much potential. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a dog-eat-dog world. What we see in the posters and the quotes, yes, those are the exceptions. not the rules.
What I'm saying is like, so all athletes are just merchants. They don't give a fuck about the actual game. So they don't give a no. They don't give a shit about the actual like history of it. They don't want to make it better or anything like that.
Yeah,
No,
would you
I'm just
rather
going.
play
I just
soccer?
want money. I just want money. I just want
Would you rather
money.
play soccer to pay your house, or would you rather go and deal with all the customers you did today and go be a position that you don't really like to do? Would you rather go do that and
Well,
get
what
your
if-
money to
what
pay
if-
your house?
what if
or
I
would you
hate-
rather
I'd
go
rather
play a
that.
game?
Yeah, I hate cardio, so I rather.
Look, and the perfect example are all the retired players. Those are the ones that are being most vocal, which are the pundits. They're the TV personalities.
Yeah.
They're pissed off at the fact that what they used to stand for is not going to be a thing. But like Tosco said, these players, I'm sure they love the game, but they also love their lifestyle. They love being able to earn that money. If you're telling me like, no, I'm going to quit because the fans and I'm going to go back to sweeping the streets in Brazil, like, you know, no.
But
Yeah.
I'm not.
also-
But it's because you guys are going like from North and South Pole. I'm talking specifically about like,
Right.
look, dude, like I actually love soccer. I love playing this sport, and I think I can
Look.
earn money out of it. No, like, dude, I'm fucking good at baseball, but I
Yeah.
fucking hate that sport.
No, but I
hate it.
can.
No, bro, go for it because you can make money. But I hate it. But
I
you're
can
good
agree
at
with
it.
Danny.
But I hate it.
But I never said the players hate the sport.
That,
Danny.
well,
I never
that's
said
what
that.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like
Danny's
this-
trying to extrapolate like
So,
where
look.
we're at in terms
because
of,
in terms like the team itself, I don't believe. I understand the you know, because you guys are
No,
like
look,
you know the business
Michael
part,
Jordan.
right?
Michael Jordan. Honestly, if there was a Michael Jordan and Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, they would have been the first one to speak up.
Yeah.
Neither of them has said shit.
Mhm.
Why? They don't want to
Mhm.
lose that sponsor money because they
Nope.
know if they speak up
Nope.
against it and this goes through, they're going to be hurting. So they're keeping
But
quiet.
I'm not
That's your
talking.
answer.
I'm not talking about the stars, dude. Like I'm
Well,
talking.
you said Michael
specific-
Jordan. I'm talking about. You know,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
talking
seeing. I'm
players.
specifically talking about the passion of the athlete. Like in this case, in this here, we talk about the sport in itself as a sport, the analysis of it. Or like, you know, LeBron. You know, yeah, oh, he's superstar and everything like that. But he's, I mean, yeah, obviously, like those teams are like so, or those players are so extremely high queued in their sport, like they don't really like kind of need it. But I feel like I don't know. I understand that they do it for money.
I mean,
like,
but LeBron
I don't-
left Cleveland.
Yeah, you know, not that's what I'm saying. You know, and they do it, but specifically, like I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, like I mean, I guess like
They're not as passionate as we are, Danny.
no.
No.
So you don't think they don't give it? They do not
They
give
don't-
a shit about the sport at all.
No,
They
no,
only care
don't
about
bleed-
money
They don't bleed for the
Zlatan
shirt
Ibrahimovic.
like
at
we
all.
do.
They don't believe. They don't care about the integrity of the game. No,
No,
nothing.
They could.
They
I'm
don't
sure some do.
care. They don't care about the history. They don't care about the legacy. They don't care. They don't.
Zlatan
as long-
not the
Ibrahimovic.
Super League, not the Super League people.
I mean, like,
Right
dang.
now.
I feel like I feel like those people are the outliers because I understand like with the money part, but you know it's kind of like
Danny,
you think
if
okay,
Jamie
like I feel
Jamie
like
Vardy from Leicester, right? He's our best player, right? He's been a really good player. He led
Love
them
that
to win the
guy.
league,
Love that
right?
guy. He loves the
Love
fucking
him.
game.
He will
Yeah,
quit.
he does. He really does.
Yeah.
But if the Superliga Liverpool comes and says, "Hey, Jamie, we know that
Right.
Leicester's paying you 50 mil, whatever, but if you come over here, you sell out, we'll give you 100 mil. We'll give you 200 mil, daily, right?" That's where you
Over
can
the
say
hill soccer player too.
the integrity they have is to where, nah, you know what? I'm not going to do it for the money because I like where I'm at. I like playing for this team. I'm the one. I'm putting myself in here. I'm sacrificing for this team. Now I'm good. Or you can say, you know what? I'm good with not being banned and doing all this stuff. I'm out, right? So I guess what I'm trying to tell you here is the little guys. See, we can't use the big names because those are outliers. They're going to be good regardless.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So-
yeah,
so
and they're
we're
gonna make
talking
money.
about-
Yeah,
So let's talk about the little guys, right?
yeah.
The backups, the De La Fuente and the Des, right? The U.S. guys that are on Barcelona, they get paid very little, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they might have the passion and that burning, like the integrity, okay. But what's gonna happen, Danny, if they speak out against Barcelona right now and say, "No, I don't think we should go. It's a bad idea." What do you think's gonna happen to them?
Shit, they're gonna disappear, bro.
Yeah, but that's not like that's not what I'm
What do you
saying.
mean?
I'm talking about specifically the player. I don't care about management. I don't care about the team. Like specifically about the player. And I'm saying like I understand like how you're like, oh, if you talk shit about like about your team or not like that, but be like, oh no, if you give an opinion or whatever, but not
Okay.
specifically it's not specifically the PR or the money. I'm not talking about the money portion of it. So what I'm saying specifically going back to the Superliga. So my take on this is specifically in the kind of like the integrity, not necessarily of like the game, but rather of like the kind of like I guess like like the not sponsorship but partnership we have with the world or whatever. Where like sports unites us, right? Like soccer unites us even more because it's a very huge international sport.
Football.
A football association football. So FIFA really, or I'm sorry, the World Cup really obviously launches all that and everything. Obviously it is about the money, but I feel like the Superliga is doing right now is just kind of like letting us know or like are you in it like kind of for the money, not necessarily like kind of are you in it for the money or for the game, but like how
The baseline test isn't passed, is what you're saying.
yeah, exactly. Be like, look, dude,
there's
like,
a mixture of the sport love and the money, which is fine, but there's also a bar where it's a line that you just can't cross, right? Once it gets past that, it's like fucking who gives a fuck what happens after that?
My question is, my thing is that bar that you don't want them to cross. Who set that bar?
Look, we see the bar right here, but they might see it right here, and this is what we get upset about.
I set the bar.
So for example, Danny, right? What you're bringing up, and I understand what you're saying now, but who sets that bar, Danny? Is it the fans? Is it FIFA? Is it who?
I think it's the culture. The culture, and honestly, I think it's in this case, obviously, the culture is driven hugely by the fans.
Okay, so the fans, are setting the bar because they're the culture. They're the ones that have the songs, the ones that have the jerseys, the ones that go to the games, right?
Traditions.
They represent the traditions, the prides, all the songs, the dances, right? They have all that, right? So they
spend the
set
money.
the bar, right? They spend the money, right? Okay, so don't you think that for your team, right, that you love, that you have all this culture and tradition for, right? That you give your everything every day for it. Wouldn't you want your team to be successful?
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it goes back to what successful.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, well, you want it to be successful, right? So you want them to win those championships at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So Can the team win the championship right now? Maybe, maybe not,
Maybe,
right?
yeah,
Probably
yeah.
not.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are going to improve to make you happy, the fan, and keep your culture and traditions going,
Mm-hmm.
we need to make some moves.
Yeah, 'cause
We
I'm
need
the
to make some
consumer.
moves that you're not going to like, but we have to make some moves.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to sell our best player. We might
I
have
was
to.
pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed, but it
We
worked
had to
out.
sell our best player, and everybody's not going to like it, but you have to do it.
Yeah, decisions made. Yeah,
But
correct.
instead of them doing that, right, they're making dumber decisions by saying, "Hi, let's join the Super League. We're gonna get 400 million guys. We're gonna be able to pay off everybody. We're gonna get new guys. We're gonna win again." Right? Aren't you gonna be happy? Aren't they gonna meet your bar? Aren't they gonna get to where you want them to get?
Yeah.
The culture that you said.
Mm-hmm.
So
But at what
then, why are
cost?
you upset?
Well, I mean,
Why, as a
because
fan, are you gonna be upset?
I don't want to see them gain another yard.
I mean, like,
why are they upset?
and now, I mean, I don't know if you want to chime in, Eddie. I know
do.
that. Yeah, go for
Real
it.
quick.
Go ahead,
Real quick.
Eddie. I want to hear what you have to say, dude.
All right. Thank you so much.
I've been
No,
waiting.
and it was
We've
good.
been, chatting on the side.
I know we have.
Oh, hurry up and talk, Eddie. All right, get to your point, dude. Hurry up.
Shut up.
So, Danny,
Come
you
on, Eddie,
mentioned
let's go.
how them breaking away and creating this other league. None of us were around when this happened, but when the Champions League happened, when it was created, and it was a breakaway league in the 50s, it was the same type of uproar, the same type of speed bumps, the same type of outrage. But look at Champions League now. It's like the thing to be a part of. It's actually the tradition. But in 1955, it was the breakaway league that everybody hated and everybody was against.
Mhm.
I do believe that if this works out, and they're gambling for it to work out without COVID, with full stadiums, with the tourism and all that, if this works out 50 years from now, this is just going to be another tradition.
Exactly.
I mean,
So in 50 years, in 20 years, in 10 years, when all this, it ends up working out. Oh, remember when we got pissed over this? Man, I'm glad it turned out. Look how many championships we won.
And guess what, Tosco? Champions League, the first years were, some of them were invite only and some of them were always guaranteed. And Real Madrid won the first one.
Adapt or die.
and I think that at some point, I think they can work something out. Just like I was saying, where, like that's what I thought, where it was gonna be like kind of like a midweek type of thing, like a Champions alternative. But I didn't think it's gonna be all crazy. I mean, I understand FIFA. I think UEFA just turned it up, but where it's like, no, FIFA, look at them or whatever. Like, and it was. Yeah, I think that was unnecessary for them to like start banning people like that. Like, bro, like.
Because that also, and I guess this is one of the the last things to add to this, or at least for me, is there's a reason why, okay, they reacted so fast and they reacted so harshly. Why? Because what were they doing? They were being accused of being corrupt. They were accused of being this. They were accused of this. And what do they do? Boom! Right away, they're on the defense. You're banned. You're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, what Eddie? Eddie's Eddie was it? The interview was like yesterday, like straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why react so harshly?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because this is one of the things that's gonna come out of this, whether the Superliga happens or not.
Something's gonna happen.
What we're gonna do is now we're gonna question UEFA and FIFA. There's more people are gonna start asking questions. They're gonna start asking about corruption, because it's become aware now, okay? Second thing, one thing, and this is one of the things that Danny, you keep on bringing up, and I see it because you're bringing up the side of the fan, but the fans need to know that change is coming. It might not be this year, it might not be next year, but in 5, 10 years, things are going to be completely different because the marketplace is changing, the businesses are changing. So that's another thing that we gotta get ready for. So, it's got, whether it happens or not, it's going to open the eyes of a lot of people in a lot of places, and a lot of things are going to change.
All right, guys. So we're gonna start just wrapping up a little bit. Just on our talk, I know it was pretty intense. Again, nothing personal. We all love each other. We're all friends and stuff. It's all fun and games, but man, it's intense.
Nah,
That's right.
fuck y'all.
It's bar room talk.
It's because it's true. Like, I mean, there really is no. I feel like there is no right answer, but I feel like what Tosco is saying is true. It's just what is it?
Dude, whatever
Movimientos
Tosco
Vida.
says.
Like specifically right now, that like we're like Movimientos Vida. We're like
Aliens bar, Toscos.
where change is coming, because it's just it's just a natural evolution things. Like if one now that UEFA, they're like, hey, UEFA's like not paying, or they're being corrupt, they're not showing us what's up. I feel like if they don't make another league like that now, then in this case Champions League might actually change itself. I feel like they would just make another one though, but just kind of plan it a little bit better. I feel.
Yeah, they announced changes yesterday to Champions League. So again, just to wrap it up, the sneakiness of this whole deal was that they signed like at Saturday midnight, announced it on Sunday, because on Monday UEFA was announcing the Champions League format changes for 2024 and expanding it to more teams. I don't know. It's all really sketch and sucks.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're going to be winners to some extent, whether we like how it happened or not. But yeah, subscribe to our OnlyFans, Snapchat.
And the fans are going to be mad for a week or two, a month or two, and then what's going to happen? They're all going to go back because they're all going to miss it.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna. I mean,
what it is.
it's just like COVID shows us the same exact thing. People are like, nah, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. They turn, open the little bit, and everyone's there. All right, guys.
Sounds like there's going to be a reckoning for these bar setters y'all were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bar,
All right,
there's gonna
who
be a
are you,
reckoning.
Papa John's? The day of reckoning will come.
It will come. Not today. Not next week. Soon. It'll come soon. This reckoning. In European football, Danny. It's not soccer. It's football.
Football, European football. All right, guys. The three and hold on.
Oh, so can we get JP Morgan to sponsor us?
For real.
That'd be awesome.
I'll sell the
They
fuck
seem like a
out,
great
dude.
sponsor.
Oh, don't you want to do this podcast for love? Nah, bro. Give me that $1 billion. I'll take it.
What's love?
You want to talk about that?
Wait. Oh shit, bro.
I mean,
Oh, why you call him Chives, bro? That's not his name. You fucking.
Are we done now?
all right, guys. We're about to. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up. It's already getting late. We're already.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
We gotta thank the sponsors we currently have.
No
JP
lie.
Morgan.
While we still have them. God, thank you so much, guys. That's it for this week's episode. Hope y'all can chill with us next time. Follow us, subscribe, and like us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to all the sponsors. Music provided by Studio 13th Day. This is Danny BMD with Mezzo Forte's crew. Signing off, saying laters. Bring it home, Arturo.
Thank you, Dan. The lesson of the day is the Charlotte Hornets playoff hopes rely on LaMelo Ball, and if you fight Jake Paul, you're just gonna fall. Remember, sports are great, but
Bro.
without y'all, the fans. This is episode number 23. Until next time,
Bro.
folks, stay cool, stay safe, and keep on listening to Mezzo Forte Sportz.
Jake Paul is good for boxing.
Oh my God.